Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video I want to quickly talk about optimizing Facebook ad campaigns. How do you go about optimizing a Facebook ad campaign once you've launched it? Because the optimization process can be really important. You can triple or more the effectiveness, so you can reduce your cost per purchase, reduce your cost per lead by 3 times, 5 times even, by continually optimizing and improving and adjusting Facebook ad campaigns. But you need to do it the right way. So I'm going to cover our process, the sort of steps that we go through. I'm going to explain some sort of complex topics and just sort of gloss over them. So if you don't know what a lookalike audience is, a custom audience, things like that, that's fine, but just make sure you check out the other videos on this channel, on my channel, and just take a look at exactly how to set up those things if you're not already familiar with them. So to get to the sort of the optimization process, how do we optimize a Facebook ad campaign? The first thing we'll do is we'll set it up in a way that allows for us to easily optimize going forward. So we will usually start with one campaign. This if we're working for a client or launching something for our own business. Start with one campaign. It'll be a campaign budget optimization campaign, so CBO will be turned on. We will have normally 4 or 5 different ad sets. One of the ad sets will be a retargeting ad set. So we'll be retargeting, let's say, previous customers if it's a new product or new service. We could be retargeting website visitors, perhaps an email list. It depends what the client has. The other 3 or 4 ad sets will be cold audience ad sets. Now, out of those 3 or 4, usually 1 or 2 will be lookalike based. So it might be a lookalike based off previous customers. It might be a lookalike based off of our email list, something like that. Again, depends what the client has. And then the other 1 or 2 ad sets will be interest-based targeting options. So we'll have done our research in Facebook's audience insights, we'll have found a number of targeting options that we want to test, and that's what we'll be targeting those in those ad sets. Now within those 4 or 5 ad sets, we will have the same ads. We'll have the same ads in there. When I first launch a Facebook ad campaign, in an ideal world, I would be testing different ad formats. So I might have, let's say, a video ad, a single image ad, and a carousel ad, because I want to work out what works best for this business and for this target market. That's not always possible. Sometimes we may have 2 or 3 different image ads and 1 video ad, let's say, in which case the 2 or 3 different image ads will obviously have different images, because that's what we'll test first. So we will launch that campaign, and I like to optimize in sort of 7-day increments. So we'll launch the campaign and we will leave it alone for 7 days. I think that's really important. Facebook ad campaigns need to go through the learning phase, and if you assess and then make adjustments too early, you're really doing that off false data, and you can end up really sort of jeopardizing your campaigns by making optimizations that are incorrect, and they're actually might end up worsening your performance. So we're going to wait about 7 days, go through the learning process, and then provide data. The first thing we're going to do when we optimize our Facebook ad campaigns is take a look at the targeting options that we've used. That's the first step. Which of those ad sets that we launched the campaign with have performed well and which have performed poorly? We will then pause the underperformers and usually look to create 1 or 2 new ad sets to test against the best performing ones. And by doing that, that's what we'll do over the first, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks, again in 7-day increments. So we check it in 7 days, make a load of adjustments, leave it alone. Another 7 days, make adjustments. The first stage we're going to do that with is targeting, until we've got usually 2 or 3 ad sets that are performing well. Usually one of those is going to be a lookalike, one of those is going to be a retargeting, and then we may have another lookalike, for example, if we've got 2 ad sets that produce similar results. That's the sort of structure it'll take. Once we've established the targeting that we like, we'll then move on to the ad level. And the first thing that we're going to test and optimize for is ad format. So as I mentioned, we like to set up campaigns that have different ad formats, and that's the first thing we're going to decide on. What performs best for this market? Is it video? Is it long video? Is it short video? Is it an animation style video? Is it a carousel? Is it a slideshow? Is it a single image ad? That's what we're going to test early on. So we're going to, usually you'll see, through the targeting testing process, you'll see, okay, you know what, our cost per purchase is 30% less with single image ads. Great. Pause the other ad formats, and then we're going to look to test different types of image ads. And the first stage whenever you're testing ad, once you've decided on your ad format, is the creative, is the actual image itself. Obviously if you're using video, then it'd be the video, but it's the imagery. That's the thing that is the biggest difference maker to an ad, because that's what grabs people's attention. So once we've tested targeting, then we've optimized for ad format, then we move on to the creative. Again, each one of these is being done in 7-day increments. So we make a load of adjustments, we leave it alone, we come back in 7 days, we take a look at the data, we make a lot more optimizations, and we leave it alone. And as we're going through this process, we're basically keeping it quite simple. So we're pausing the underperforming options, the targeting options, the ad formats, the ad images that produce a higher cost per purchase or a higher cost per lead. And then we're taking a look at the ones that perform well and going, okay, interesting, that style worked. So can we find more images that are similar to that style and use those? Once we've done that with creative, we then move on to the headline, and then finally we move on to the ad copy. So it's basically 5 stages that we have to optimizing a Facebook ad campaign. There are other elements that we use, but those are the main 5. We will adjust in 7-day increments, and that's the order that we'll go through. You know, because the targeting options you use is more important than the copy that you've got in your ad. So you want to sort of do it in that order and start that process. So when it comes to optimizing your Facebook ad campaigns, that's what I'd recommend. Go through that process. If you have a similar structure or something different, let me know in the comments below. If you found that useful, let me know in the comments below. I always appreciate that. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more Facebook advertising related stuff. I've got videos like this. I've also got sort of long form in account Facebook advertising related content that you might find really useful. So yeah, thanks a lot guys, bye bye.